Hey Facebook, how you guys doing? Just taking a little break. It's almost 8 o'clock in the evening here. And so today I want to talk to you, 'cause I ain't got nothing else to do right now. I'm going to get on the market in a minute. But I had some dinner and now I'm having dessert. Alright, so that was strange. Must be a lot of people online. So I want to just simply talk to you today about relationships and in comparison to a rose garden. Now, when it comes to relationship, everyone knows relationships are very complicated. And there's been books and video and everything out there talking about relationship. But in context, hey Kelly, what's going on? Hey Angel Lopez, what's up, brother? I want to use a reference that we all can. All right, sounds good, Angel. So I want to use a reference on how I perceive a relationship should be. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not one to say personally that my relationships are absolute excellent, but as a psychiatrist, I know a lot and I can help a lot. But helping a lot and then actually doing is a lot different. And so, yeah. So let me just explain how do I do it personally. When it comes to dating, the very first prerequisite in a woman, of course, beyond the fact that of how she looks, because that's in all of us, right? We all want to have someone we're attracted to. So the very first thing that I pay attention to in a relationship, and my exes, and when I refer to exes, I'm talking about Elena, Malekam, and Sully. They can all contest to the fact that I've said the reason I'm with you is priority number one, that you came and approached me. Now, I know that in society today, especially in today's society, that is counterintuitive to what's going on. The women think, well, a guy's supposed to approach me, but in actuality, if I take it biblically in a context that man's role, and when I say biblical, let's look in Genesis chapter 2, in that chapter, man's role is to work. Okay, God put man on earth, dress it, keep it, work. Okay. God said man should not be alone. The very first thing God created for man is animals. That was the very first thing he created for man. Now the animals were to help him work. The second thing he created out of man, and this is the hardship of a relationship, trying to find someone that is extremely compatible to you, because in biblical terms, God created the woman out of man, so that out of man is an extreme compatibility aspect. But in context, what happened was God put man asleep, so he wasn't aware of the woman in the first place. But then when he was aware, then the woman was already presented. So for me personally, and in context, which is different from as a psychiatrist, I'm keen on helping you with skills and talents of how to fix problems. But as a personal man, my goal has always been to find the compatibility of the woman. And then in context, my awareness of the woman is she presents herself to me. Is that right or wrong? I'm not here to argue that point. I'm just here to say this is what I've always done. And quite honestly, if you ask how did I receive or get the three ladies that I mentioned earlier, is because all three of them, right or wrong, they approached me. Now, they did it, and I took it as them doing it as being a very strong individual woman. But at the same time, I've taken it as they needed to be a strong individual woman because I am, as you probably already know, not simple in context. It's like I'm complex. Like, who eats ice cream after running this morning or any morning with a bag on their back? What are you trying to do? Lose weight or gain weight, right? All right, so, God, nuts. I love it. Sorry. So the idea is the first thing for me, that the woman has to, is of course she has to have that attraction, physical attraction. The second thing that I'm always mindful of is the approach. If she has enough courage to approach me, then I should give her an opportunity to see. Now, which is the third thing, is the compatibility. Hey, Emmanuel, what's going on, brother? The compatibility aspect. Hence the title of relationship and rose garden. Everyone, and I use it in context. We all say that we want a perfect, loving relationship. I'm no exception. Do you think I want to be here in my office working at night? No, but I'm here because that's what needs to be done. I need to work. Now, when I have, and my exes contest to it, I learned from my past mistakes that I can't work, and that's more priority than a relationship. There has to be a balance. And so in that balance, I've learned how to work around certain things, and all my exes will tell you that it seemed like I didn't even work. All right. So three things. One is if she approaches. Two is, well, the attraction, she approaches, and now we're trying to find the compatibility. Relationship in a rose garden. When you have a seed and you're wanting a rose garden, do you go and pray to God or whoever you pray to, and do you meditate for the rose garden just to appear? No. You have to do things that has nothing to do with the roses itself to make sure the end result is the rose garden, right? So if I have a seed and I want a rose garden, I need to put the seed in dirt. So now my attention has to be given to the dirt aspect, the soil, making sure the soil is done. Now, in context, when it comes to a relationship, when you finally find that person who, for my case, who's attractive, who approach me, and I'm trying to find compatibility into that compatibility is the soil aspect. We're now trying to find and manipulate and work with and compromise and do all kinds of things to find the compatibility. So if I had a seed, put it in the soil, that soil, my attention is making sure that soil is the right substance in nutrients for the seed. Then I have to put my attention on watering it. And then you have to water it. And then you have to make sure it's in the right environment. And there's everything you have to do to the rose garden. You're doing everything to the rose garden and not even have the rose. And this is what relationships don't realize, that when you're in a relationship, and this is a brand new introduction relationship, you need to take time to build things around the very thing that you want. Okay? And it is in that process, for me, that's that process that I say where we're compatible in the context that we want the same thing, we're trying to go to the same place. And if I find that we're not, then someone has to come to an agreement or push the issue that we're not compatible. And if we're not compatible, then we have to be man and woman enough to say we're not compatible. And so therefore we have to then figure out a way how to work it or not work it. Hey, Jennifer, how you doing? So my point in relationship is in 4 years, all I had was 3 women. And the reason I had 3 women is because, and it just seems like, and excuse me, it seems like I'm just staying within those circles. It's simply because I'm not quitting anyone, because I understand that in a relationship, if I want a rose garden, I need to focus on soil. I need to focus on water. I need to make sure the environment is there. I'm doing everything around the relationship to make sure everything is compatible of where we're trying to do in the context of our goal. And the garden's goal is the rose. And the relationship goal is marriage and future. And sometimes, hey Jennifer, how you doing? And sometimes in a relationship, not only are you having to deal with the introduction and all of that, and the substance, if you will, the substance of the right here, right now, and finding that compatibility, we also have to deal with baggage, right? We have to take account that everyone has certain fears, everyone has certain traumas, everyone has certain things that in this process of working the garden and allowing it, stresses are applied to it. Have you ever, I know some of you may or may not like the garden aspect, who can relate to it, but think about it. If you put a seed, you got to dig the hole, you put the seed in it, and then you put dirt on it and you compress it a little bit. If you translate that into a relationship, is that not stressful, right? Because those are the very things that you have to deal with when you have an introduction of a new person in your life. There has to be certain things that you have to realize that you're going to break those rules. You're going to break people's trust. You're going to break this and break that, because those are the things. How else are we going to find out if we're compatible? So if you're not willing to go through those stresses, if you're not willing to go through those problems and those traumas, and see if your partner is willing to understand them, and who's capable of dealing with them, and who's capable of not repeating them, if you're not going through it, how are you going to actually have someone long term, right? Long term is the rose. Short term, we got to go through this dirt process. And I think in relationships, at least personally, as well as a psychiatrist, I believe a lot of people don't realize that. You cannot go into a relationship anticipating that someone is going to be perfect to all your traumas and all your stresses. If you do, you're really just fooling yourself. Because we all know there's no perfect person out there. Prove the point. Even after, and I'm going to go biblical for a second, even after a woman talked to the serpent, the fruit thingy, whatever, and she presented it to man, and then man took the fruit because of the woman, and then God got involved and punished everybody in chapter 3 of Genesis. Even all of that, man still looked at woman and says, I'm still going to be with you. Right? See, I'm the kind of guy, which is awesome as a psychiatrist, kind of scared because I psychoanalyze everything, indirectly, of course. But I'm the kind of guy, and there's a lot of guys out there who will trigger you, trigger you to a point of bringing some bad past traumas and issues, but at the same time, who likes you enough to say, I'm sorry, that I'm willing to work it out. let's talk about it. Let's figure out, how did I trigger you? What was it that I triggered you and that trauma or the bad experience? And how can we move forward? Right? There are a lot of guys out there and ladies out there, because ladies, let's face the fact, there are a lot of guys who have also been, sorry about that. There's a lot of guys who also been traumatized, right? So you can't assume in the very beginning of a relationship that nothing is going to go wrong. As a rose garden, I'm just recapping for a second. When you're in a relationship, things are going to happen. Things are going to happen, and there's going to happen that it's not going, shouldn't happen. Now, again, I'm talking about the normal cycle of things, ladies and gentlemen. If I find, or you find, that there is an abuse, of mental abuse, there's physical abuse, there's psychological abuse, there's financial abuse. If you find any excessive abuse in your relationship, cut it. It is not going to be fixed. The manipulating and lying and cheating aspect of the relationship. Make sure you don't go through those abuses. Now, again, defining abuse. Abuse is someone who's causing the pain, continuous, versus I triggered someone and they've been triggered, and now we're talking about of how not to do it. Okay, those are kind of a difference. Hey, Simile, how you doing? So if I'm an abusive person, then you say they hurt me, and I say I'm sorry, but then I hurt you again, and then I say sorry, and then I hurt you again. That's an abusive person. Of the same hurt, of the same thing. Now, if I say I hurt, and you say you hurt me, and I say I'm sorry, and I don't do it again, but I hurt you in a different manner, a different trauma, a different experience, then that's different. We're trying to grow off of those things. That's not a bad person. That's somebody who's willing to work with you. All right. So anyway, that's what I really wanted to talk to you today. Just do a little venting today. Eating my dessert. Don't mind it's melting. It's going to melt anyway in my stomach. So that's all I thought. I'm just taking a little break, eating a little dessert. I'm going to go and do some stock stuff in a little bit. I'm hoping that all you guys had a great day. Tomorrow's going to be another great day. Why? Because you're going to make it a great day. All right. If you are the person who wakes up angry, you're going to have a pretty angry day. Wake up happy. Now, am I saying that's going to be a beautiful day, or it's going to be a perfect day? No. Do I wake up every day with a perfect day? No. But a positive attitude outlasts all negative. And if I choose to be positive, then my health is going to be positive. If I choose to be negative, then my health is going to be negative. So, wake up, be happy. If it's not perfect the way you want it, work towards it, make it. All right? All right. So, that's all I got today, or this evening, I should say. I'm going to finish this ice cream. I feel rude if I eat in front of you. It's not natural for me. What else? I don't know. I think we'll pick it up from probably tomorrow. We'll pick it up tomorrow on another topic. Something else. But, I know a good topic. How about this? Let me write this over here. When do you start dating after you get out of a date? After you date, you finish. I'm just writing it out here. Finish dating someone. That's a good topic. I have to look into that one. Cool. All right. I think, so tomorrow, if you're here, join me. I talked about this earlier to somebody else, and they asked the question of, okay, when do you start dating after you stop dating someone else? And I told them I'll get back with them on that one. All right. So thanks a lot, Manuel. Appreciate all the thumbs up and the hearts, my brother. Keep up the good work for you guys. Jennifer and all you guys, Mary, Simile, all you guys, have a great evening. I will talk to you guys soon. All right. Bye bye.